and welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today we are going to do something really different. I am just kind of in a mood to dress up very cottagecore and go out to my favorite you pick flower field and get a bunch of flowers to then arrange into bouquets, and I thought I would take you along with me. This is probably going to be like a very aesthetic, slow living type of video, so hopefully you'll enjoy that, since I know this is very different from my usual content, but I've been pretty climate anxiety lately, and so something that always helps me is to like go out to one of my local you pick farms and like spend some time in nature and I guess with food, or in this case flowers. Luckily in Washington we have so many you pick farms that the options for that are pretty limitless during any time during the harvest season. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to just take you along with me and hopefully you'll enjoy this. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this all week because last week I was really social, so this week I could very much use some alone time. I'm about to hop into the car. It's about a 40-minute drive out there. We're gonna be doing that together. All right, we have arrived at the stand. This here is their little like flower station where it tells you all the things, including prices, and it also gives you your own shears. I also brought a pair, but I ended up using theirs because I had enough. Sometimes people steal them and they aren't there. I was out here before anybody had come in, but then they have this little bit inside with some plums, which I did pick up a pint of plums. These are my favorite type of plums. So I was pretty excited. They also have a notepad to help you add up your totals. And then sometimes they have interesting stuff all pinned in there. So that is what the little stand itself looks like. It's very self-serve honor system. And then of course this is the beautiful flower field. Everything is very in bloom right now. This is definitely the most in bloom I've ever seen it. Most years when I've finally made it out here, it's been like in September where things are less in bloom. So here we have some marigolds. And then I'm not sure what the yellow flowers are or what these other ones are, but we have some snapdragons here. I love snapdragons. They're one of my faves. And then further along, I'm not sure what these flowers are either, but they're really pretty. And then you can also see some poppies. But yeah, it's absolutely stunning. I love coming out here. It just makes my soul really happy. I decided to start navigating the rows. They do have different plants at the back of the rows. So here there are some fun flowers that I do actually have some of these in a dried floral arrangement I hadn't seen them ever grown before. And then over here there's some blue buttons. I'm also going over some black-eyed Susan. I love that they have blue buttons in so many different colors. Like, I love the deep burgundy, even though I picked up none this time. But I do absolutely love that color. There's one giant sunflower just chilling. Here we're entering the Cosmo range, which I also do love cosmos. And then back behind here you can see some zinnias and sunflowers. And here is a look towards the main road. I am going to link this place down below in case you want to go yourself if you live in Washington, or if you're ever traveling in Washington during the you pick flower season. It is such a treat. I enjoy it so much. I mean, just look at this. This is absolutely stunning. I'm not quite sure what all these varieties of flowers back here in this corner are, but there are some different fun looking bunches. But now we're going to go into a little aesthetic picking montage. Here I'm gonna show you my method after I finish picking. First I shake out the flowers, and then I have a bucket in the car with a little bit of water that I am placing those flowers in. When I'm shaking them out for bugs, and I put them in the water just so they maybe have a better survival rate for the car ride. The countryside is so beautiful, and also driving out here is a little bit of a treat in and of itself. And now I'm gonna head on home to go ahead and arrange these. Alrighty, we are back at home. It is about 3 hours since I got home. I have run some errands, eaten some McDonald's, and took a nice little nap. So now I feel ready to actually start sorting out these flowers. So let me grab them. I may have went a little bit overboard. Whoops! Here they are. They're rather big. And yes, that is a litter tub if you are wondering. So first things first, I'm gonna real quick sort these out into, I think, just flower type and maybe even color if I have room. We'll kind of see how that goes. But that's why I did not clean my kitchen table. It's pretty grimy looking, and partially that's because I didn't want to clean it before putting a ton of flowers down on it. So I think try to have this be a wee bit of a chatty video. I don't even know how to get started with this. Let's go with the ones that we put in last. Okay, there we go, that's better. These are all my snapdragons. Snapdragons are one of my favorites, and one of the biggest reasons I go out into this field is they have absolutely beautiful snapdragons and so many different varieties, as you saw. The zinnias probably got a little bit lost down below because these I had to cut a lot shorter to like not really disturb the flowers. I don't quite know how to explain that, but it's just the way they grow, and when I go to this field I try to harvest in a very responsible way. Okay, we have some cosmos. Okay, now we're getting to where I can actually get these out. Okay, those are some blue buttons. Blue buttons is another reason I like this field, is sometimes it's kind of hard to find blue buttons at the farmer's market. I never buy my flowers at a florist because in Seattle it's just not done that way, which sounds kind of silly. If Spooky starts disturbing me, which she looks like she might, I am gonna boot her for her own safety. I am not quite sure how all these flowers would do if ingested by a cat. She doesn't bother flowers once they're done, but she does bother them either while I film, as you guys have seen. Once they're like in their little spots, all good to go, she leaves them and me alone. We're gonna see if any of these poppies made it. I have read that poppies are actually quite particular in how they need to be processed. Oh, here comes a little stinker herself. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of reading on how to get my poppies to not look sad. I'm gonna real quick go put Spooky in the bedroom. Give me a minute. Okay, she is taken care of. But yes, I need to do some research on the poppies. And then these guys, I just saw one of my friends post. I can't remember what they're called, but it looks like you can actually use them for dyeing, which is quite intriguing. So I'm going to do some research on that, and I might go back from some more to process for dye, if indeed that looks promising. Oh boy, we got a zinnia drowning a little bit in here. Sorry, ma'am. And then these all look like blue buttons for the most part. If you see my wreath back there, that's actually a lot of what's in that wreath. That is everything we have. And then what you'll see me doing here, this is my compost bag. It's pretty gross and gnarly. I use the same bag every time I do flowers, put all my cuttings into when it's time. And then I'm gonna start with this vase here, which is a vintage clamshell vase that's quite beautiful. I'm starting with this vase here because it takes the most flowers, so it's just a good one to start out with. I'm trying kind of to decide my color scheme. I may have overdone it. I know, shocking. But in looking at the stock, I paid appropriately for my bouquet. I paid $72. I estimated that I took 6 $12 bouquets from the field, and looking at this feels about right. So I do believe I paid them appropriately for all these flowers. First, I'm gonna research the poppies because that will inform other things. Alrighty, we're gonna get some fire for these. So, they say you need to cauterize your poppies, which is pretty freaking wild. So that is what we're gonna do, but first, I think I'm gonna start by building this to have some other flowers in it, so that way the poppies will stand. I actually think I'm gonna go warm for this. And my poppies do look a little rough. They were the first thing I picked, and I kind of stuck them in the back, which was maybe not the move. So what I'm doing, and what's really important to do, especially if you do get your florals from more of like a Trader Joe's or farmer's market type place, is it's important to take off all the leaves that are going to be underwater. This vase, I don't fill much past like where it's clear down here, because otherwise it gets too, I don't know how else to say it, but too weird. My first goal right now is just to set a good base for me to put in kind of more of the star flowers. And all of these will help kind of like the thinner poppies stand up. I don't know, I don't always know what I'm doing, so you know, grain of salt. A lot of people will arrange their bouquets kind of like in a circle up here before then putting them in a vase. I like to arrange directly into a vase because I think that very much informs how you actually want your flowers to sit. That's just me. Flowers are kind of like sewing. There's certain things that work, and what works for you, you should do. I actually have no idea how to properly take care of these weird papery flowers. I don't know if you can hear that. Actually, I can. But that's what these sound like. They're super weird. I have never seen these like actually grown anywhere, and I'm super enjoying them. They're kind of funky and fun. So these are kind of like the small flowers. The theory is like small flower, medium flower, big flower. I guess my poppy can be my medium. I don't know. Like I said, I'm more of a like organic, however the flowers flow out type person. Cosmos fade fast, so I don't really want to put cosmos into this because I know these are gonna stick for a while. So maybe we'll do some zinnias after all. Yeah, I think that could be nice with some zinnias in there. I do kind of feel like I need more bulk. Maybe I'll do some blue buttons. This vase for me very much has a front. What's probably hopefully looking nice for you guys. Doesn't look that great on my side. I think that's nice. While I enjoy going out and flower picking and doing all of that, I do very much have a rash on my hands now from it. I have eczema and it's pretty easy to get that to act up, but they're so darn pretty that I've decided that it's worth it for me. Guess I could maybe grab my red ones of these. Yeah, I like those. Do. Cute. Okay, so when I said this will be interesting, it's because you're supposed to burn the end of a poppy. I don't know how long, but she's been burned. So we'll see how she works. This is a very strange feeling. I have never burnt a flower as part of my prep for it before. Very strange. Okay. Oh boy, this is my biggest vase, and I kind of feel like it's hardly made a dent in these flowers. Hopefully that's working. I don't know. Call me skeptical. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I think definitely fill in the back of the vases with some more zinnias. I got like kind of two tones of zinnias. I got some like funner, brighter ones, which is I think what I'm gonna put in here. And then I got some less bright ones that I think I will put in a different bouquet. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and double side this one because I have more than enough flowers here to double side it. Sometimes arranging flowers is so many hard decisions. All right, let's continue with our slash and burn poppy method. That poppy doesn't have a poppy, so that means that I probably lost all the flowers on that one. I really like poppies. I wish they were easier to make last in a flower arrangement because I think they are so pretty. This is so fun. This is so fun and pinky. One of the reasons I kind of try to do stuff like this occasionally, besides the fact that I think it's important to like get in touch where things grow, I also choose to do this because I think it's important when you're single to kind of like take yourself out on dates. It's a little bit less of a date since I brought you guys along, but like I think it's important to like do things that I feel like a lot of people wait to have a partner for. I think it's just worth considering treating yourself well and like not waiting for a partner, especially as we live in a country where people are getting married older. I don't know, I think single or not single, we deserve to all get to enjoy things and get to like do nice things for ourselves and not have to wait for somebody. I am quite a believer in frequent flower buying for myself. I would feel very different if I lived somewhere where flowers were a lot more expensive. In Washington, they're pretty cheap, which is really nice. I mean, considering the fact that I got all this for around like $72, that is pretty wild, and I know is not a norm. It was nice. Take yourself out for a nice dinner if you're too awkward to eat alone in public, which I know a lot of people are. You can always not eat in public, and you can always kind of make it more of a private thing. Oh good, my AC is kicking on. I've decided that you guys can just deal with AC noise. It's a hot day. I've been in a field and I feel rather warm. So you guys get to deal with the AC noise. I might have gotten some of these too far down. The snapdragons, it's always really hard to figure out where to cut. We're gonna see how many days a bouquet like this lasts. There's a lot of different flowers in here, so it might be kind of, okay, I believe in the rule of threes, so I'll probably put in a third one. All right, I think we have our first bouquet. here she is, all done. So this is a bunch of zinnias, blue buttons, whatever these weird crinkly flowers are, and just 3 snapdragons. I didn't use too many snapdragons in one go. So yeah, this one's done, I think. I'm gonna put it to the side because I need to obviously fill it with water. But now I think we're gonna grab my second biggest one because I'm pretty sure this is the one I want to work my sunflowers into. Sunflowers! So I got a huge variety of really pretty sunflowers here, and I think I actually kind of want them to stay relatively tall for this vase. Maybe not. Or they can always get taller. I like all the unique colors of sunflowers they had there. Like, I just thought these black ones were so nice, and it's also really interesting how pigmented the stems themselves are. This one, I guess we're going opposite, where I'm starting with the big flowers and I'm gonna fill in with the little flowers, which I might take the big flowers out once I have them all trimmed down. I don't know. I don't have a precise method to my madness. I just kind of arrange flowers how they make sense for me. And I just knew I wanted a whole bunch of sunflowers. I also think they would be really nice with like these very dusty zinnias. So I think we'll do that. I guess problem being these zinnias being rather short. We also, of course, need the snapdragon in here because with how much snapdragon I picked, it is required a part of each bouquet. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Now I'm feeling better. Have more of a buildup happening. Now I think I'll put in some more zinnias down around the edge. Ooh, not that one though. The ones that are in the proper colors. These are all very cool tone zinnias, so I don't want them in here. This is my warm-toned bouquet, my warm-toned non-pink bouquet. Wow, we've got quite the pile going here. Part of me wants to put in the white cosmos, but I'm not going to. I think I'll put in some of these, because these are nice tall-ish. Which means I definitely got too many snapdragons, because I have a lot of snapdragons left. Oopsies. Okay, and now I'm gonna twirl it around and kind of re-put in some of these, like here. All right, I think we have another finished one. Quite lovely. Ooh, yeah, this we can put over here. And now I just kind of need to make some decisions on vases. So these guys are rather thick stemmed, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. The rest of everything I have is pretty thin otherwise though. All right, we're gonna do kind of a little, actually, hold up, I'm just gonna grab 2 on up. Okay, we're gonna do a nice little mini bouquet where I think I'm gonna do like my cosmos in here as well as some blue buttons. See what we feel. This one's good. It's like a taller vase, so it'll allow for, I think, a little bit less droop. You shouldn't really fill a vase all the way. From what I understand, some of these could just be flower cutting myths that I've made up. You never know. I get a lot of information off of a TikTok, which is not necessarily reputable. And well, before I share any news, I do vet it. If I learn any flower facts, I don't necessarily vet it first unless I'm eating the flowers. And of course I vet that because that's not a good way to die. I was gonna say in my opinion, but I think in anyone's opinion, that's not a good way to die. Don't think I have to go too far out on a limb on that. I don't know how I feel about these. We're just gonna keep on going. Oh, but this is so fun. This is just like a very different creative spot that this hits for me. That's like very fast and not the hours and hours a sewing project takes. And I think that's one reason I really enjoy the flower arranging is it's much more organic and just takes less thought. That feels good. So now just continue to put in some cosmos. Cosmos remind me of my childhood. We used to grow cosmos in the garden, and so I'm pretty fond of them, even though they're also kind of a finicky flower to put in a vase. Hence why I'm putting them in with the blue buttons, which for me, blue buttons are just a good filler flower. They're not really quite a favorite of mine. But yeah, no, I'm just looking around and I can't believe that all of these only cost me about $80. Which the $80 counts some, I got some fancy cucumbers, which I'm excited about. They're like these weird yellow cucumbers that I'm gonna try in a salad this afternoon. Oh, this is so nice. This is also, to me, a true testament. To me, cosmos and blue buttons are relatively weedy looking, and this is a true testament to how weedy looking flowers can look so lovely because they kind of have that like They just look a little wilder. Like this is a little bit of a wilder looking bunch to me, and I think that's really, really pretty. Like that's just so nice. It's such a nice shape. So yeah, like to me, this is also a den bouquet, maybe. This is just like a very organic, fun looking bouquet that you just don't need like as many, like you could go out and pick this in a lot of different places, and it's just like a nice little thing. The key is also having like a bunch of different of these types of vases on hand. For this one, I'm gonna build a pretty solid base of blue buttons, because I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my zinnias in this, and then I know what I'm gonna put these flowers in. But my goal was probably to only pick up 4 bouquets, and realistically I think I'm gonna end up with more like 5 bouquets. And then the key is having these not overheat and die really early in the week, because it does sometimes be like that. I just can't believe how lucky I am to have a U-Pick fat flower field so close to me. Pretty darn cool, especially as someone who cares about the environment, because flowers are similarly bad for, not as bad for the environment obviously as clothes, but they can be pretty not great for the environment. So I think it's pretty cool to get to be, wow, these are so sticky. My hands are sticky from these. Blue buttons are so hard to harvest, so I feel like I have a bunch of like kind of ugly ones because of how hard they are to harvest, because you just kind of have to like pick them up and hit them at the stem and hope for the best and hope you get some blooms, but you're not really in very much control. Ooh, this is a nice one. This one I'm quite pleased with. Actually, I might have overpaid for the flowers, but I don't mind. I like local roots. Like now that I'm looking at some of my stem girth, but I like them, and I think it's really important to spend money at your local community farms. And that's if you have local community farms. Obviously, a lot of places don't, because I'm sure there's plenty of spots in America that it's pretty hard to grow things. Yeah, and these are all the zinnias I was able to cut higher. I'm liking it. Okay. I don't know if blue buttons keep blooming, but it's worth a shot. Why not? I'm sure there's a pile of bugs in here. I'm hoping in the drive over most of them went out in my car, which feels like maybe a strange hope to have, but it is a hope I have. Part of me is debating sticking this one in this bouquet. Sure, I don't know about how I feel about that. Just was feeling like my other bouquet was getting so full of these. That's too tall. Let's take them all down a wee bit. Welcome to what I'm really like by myself. Just singing to some flowers. I'm sure I'm gonna go through this footage and cringe and maybe not even leave it in. But yep, this is truly what my brain is like. It's why I'm so delightful. Guess I could have some channel talk. I know my channel's been growing rather fast, and yes, I know anyone who can look and it does not look like it's growing that fast, because I think as of when I'm filming this, I'm at like almost 7, well, like 6,500-ish, which to me is almost 7. And it's really interesting because being on YouTube, you can tell when your channel hits like a part of the algorithm that you don't appreciate, because I get a lot of blue hair liberal comments, which always kind of cracks me up. Well, cracks me up is the wrong term. I think it's maybe kind of funny because, like, I guess I am, except for I wouldn't identify as liberal, because hard pass on Democrats too, am I right? But I've been having my channel as I grow go through more bouts of where I can tell it's getting pushed to the part of the algorithm I don't appreciate. And I'm also starting to feel a little overwhelmed with the number of people viewing my things. So I've needed to stop looking at numbers because it stresses me out. Not because of how little it is, because yes, I understand that I am not a giant channel, but I never planned on having as many people following me as they do now. I'm quite introverted, so it's a little overwhelming. I don't know. I'm just like, I really enjoy my channel and I have no plans to stop it, but I'm feeling quite overwhelmed. Not to say like don't leave comments. I love your guys' comments. They're one of the biggest things that keep me doing this. I just can't look at like how many people have watched like my video that's done the best and stuff like that. I need to like not have a like super zoomed out view of my channel. Yeah, I just like to, fame has no appeal for me. I cannot think of something worse in the world to be than famous. It takes away so much of your freedom, and I'm nowhere near fame or anything, but I just, I just do, I guess, end up thinking about it because, like, I've been recognized in public and stuff like that. And of course, say hi if you see me in public. Like, I'm not going to quit having a channel because too many people say hi to me in public. I'm just introverted and awkward, and being known is not particularly comfortable for me. So I'm just, like, working through, I guess, that. And I'm hoping my channel continues to grow, like, slowly but steadily, like it has for a really long time. I'm hoping not to have anything ever go viral. The way I run my channel is not for virality. A lot of people try to go viral who are on YouTube. I do not. I have no interest in going viral. It's why I put out videos like this that are gonna bomb. Like, this video is not gonna do well, and I don't care. The point of this video is for me to show you something I enjoy doing, not to go viral. If I wanted to go viral, I'd, like, title this, like, everything I did in a corset, including tape go nap. But I have no interest in speaking to you guys about corsets. I think everybody's body, everybody's choice. You need to also, like, not gaslight the actresses that have said corsets are uncomfortable for them, because I don't think a corset is comfortable for everybody. Oh, I guess I should show you these. These are done. So this is this one. Isn't she lovely? I quite like the way this turned out. It's quite wild and wacky and weird. And then this one turned out exactly as I was hoping. This one's also kind of a little bit more wildflower or weed looking, and I'm quite happy with it. So let me go grab my last vase, and I guess I shouldn't park this right in front of my face. This is actually a little vase I made. It's kind of lopsided. It's not my favorite vase, admittedly, but I did make it, and I do think it's kind of cute. And that's going to be what I put these guys in. That probably feels about right for height on this. So one of the things I have to do this week is remember to refill the vases when they get dry. That's my number one killer, is I forget to add more water to the vase when they run out. Okay. I think we're just going to have to get these all in and then start moving them about. This is not going as planned at all. If I need to, I guess I'll move them to a different vase. But hopefully once I get enough of these in, oops, we can make it work. I could have definitely cut some of these not as far down. I just had no idea what I was doing with any of these flowers and which vases they were going in. Are we about to really unbalance a vase? Maybe. Because I really only have one vase up that's left that would work well for these guys. So we're gonna keep going and see how these end up, because I don't know that I think that vase is gonna look that good. Okay, well, I've officially decided I have to move to that vase, so I shall be right back. Because with one left, this is not gonna fix itself. Come here, sir. I do adore this vase. This is by my pottery mentor who I did the raku video with last summer. But these are just, like, not usually the type of flower I'd put in it because they're rather tall and, like, kind of overwhelming for the vase. But kind of seems like what's going to go in here, because I think this is the only vase that really totally makes sense for these, that it'll be... Oh, it might also still be too wide of a mouth. Yeah, they're starting to go a little bit better. Yeah, this just looks rather silly to me, but it is working. Oh, and that was my concern. Actually, that's pretty narrow. Let's see. Okay, this is, again, not the right vase, but I think it might work for what we have here. This might be a rare one that I actually do have to rubber band. I like to not rubber band my bouquets. No rational reason why. Oh, this is quite a look. Jeez. I don't know about this. Okay. I'm about to... Wow. That's great. Tiny vase. Big flowers. And I'm not sure about this. So... Because if I could get these narrowed down to where they would fit in... Oh, they are not going to get narrow enough for that vase. What about you, sir? I think this is the final form of this one in all its chaotic glory. This was not the plan. I'm not sure I love it, which is a bummer because I love snapdragons. But I think it's the best we can do here, because I guess... Oh, wait. I don't know that I like this any better. Okay, I take it back. I do like it better. So we're gonna finally end in this vase. So I'm going to show you how these actually look placed in my home. So we're going to jump into a quick reveal-like thing. And then now that you've seen these in my home, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely subscribe and stick around if you haven't already. If you have made through this video on your first go, amazing job. My channel will really be for you if you liked this one. So yeah, definitely stick around. And then other than that, you can always like this video, give it a thumbs up, or leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear how you even felt about content like this. I upload every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, so stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you next week. Bye!